Hello, we back with audio, visual, or can y'all see me? I'm relaxing. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Oh my God, testing, fucking testing. Hello, happy Memorial Day, everyone. We back with another podcast with Hot Toddies with me, Nani, and I'm Demetrius, and I'm your host. Today, I have with me
Yolanda.
Look at this one on our microphone. Don't want to be seen. You want to tell everybody who the hell you are, at least?
Oh, Drea.
Stay out of your microphone over there. We're unprepared today. These are trial and errors.
Diana.
And we have another one that's over there, but she's a seafood lover. She's eating crabs. And today we're going to talk about knowing your worth, know your worth. When did you learn your worth? The title is Know Your Worth. And just because to me it seemed like a lot of women talk about other women. Oh, you stupid for dealing with him, or you stupid for being with her. And I just feel like, can we even say that the person is stupid if we all been through something in our lifetime? So I feel like, how do you learn your worth? Do your mom tell you? Do your dad tell you? Like, how do you know your worth? Where do you learn it from? What if you didn't come from a home with a mother and a father? Like, where did you learn your worth? And how can you call somebody stupid if they was never taught their worth?
Well, I guess if you're going to talk about when did I learn my worth, I guess I think about it. I think I knew my worth a long time ago. But today I can tell you that I'm learning it. I can tell you now I know my worth. I can tell you now that I won't accept anything but my worth. And a lot of people might walk around and say, yeah, I know my worth, but you really don't. Because you accept a lot of things still. And some things I'm no longer accepting. I don't know if we get older or what, but I definitely now know my worth. You just have to know,
Like, about knowing your worth. Like, do you feel like that's something that should be taught from your mom? How do you know
Okay,
it?
so knowing your worth could be like different things though. Cause you can know your worth at work. It don't even have to be about a person. Like
Okay,
knowing
that's
your
a
worth
good
at
strategy.
work. Like I've had jobs where I feel like I've always did better than most of the people that I work with, and I feel like the companies that I work for didn't know my worth until I left, and then it was just like, oh man, we really value you. We don't want to see you go, but where was my raise? Where was all the different incentives that should have been there? So
I can relate to that.
yeah, I feel like that's a different aspect of it instead of thinking about the person. To think about like where you work and stuff like that.
I think I think we could possibly touch on all of it. I think I was touching on that, the basis of that, because I'm seeing that there's a lot of suicide rates, a lot of guys killing females, vice versa, just relationship, toxic relationships, like where women or men are not knowing their worth. And I think a lot of times people talk bad about them, but knowing that at some point in time we've been through it too. So I feel like I more so touched on that because I feel like it's a lot with relationships going on, men killing babies and just things of that nature. So I just feel like I thought about that, but I never thought about what you said, like knowing my worth at a job and actually slaving on a job, or just like you stay in a relationship that you know
Yep.
you better than you staying on a
Staying at
job
a job for
that you
10
know
years
you
and
better than.
they don't know your worth until you leave. There's other jobs that's willing to pay me what y'all don't want to pay me. But going back to like a relationship wise, just know your worth, like knowing what you want, knowing what you feel like you deserve in a relationship. You gotta speak up.
But when somebody hurts your feelings and you feel as though you should leave, but you also feel like you love that person so much, but they cheated on you, they did something bad to you, and then your girlfriend or whoever your close friend say, "Oh, you stupid for staying with him," and I'm saying like ridicule for staying with this person. I'm saying in general, where do we know to leave because that person made us feel uncomfortable? How do we learn that? And I think the reason why I'm saying that is because my grandmother and my grandfather, I lived with them at some point in time, and I've never seen them argue in my whole entire life. I would have never thought they ever went through anything to now that we're actually killing babies and killing moms and killing each other over relationships because nobody wants to leave because nobody knows their worth. So you see what I'm saying? Like there was a time you didn't even. I've never in all their years seen them argue. They both passed away now. Rest in peace to them. But you know what I'm saying? So now people are just killing each other. How you feel about that, Nyesha?
I don't think it's on. Is it on?
It's on.
I'm sorry. Knowing your worth it could be a few different aspects, like Dre said in regards to work. If you know what you bring to the table, in any aspect of knowing your worth, if you know what you bring to the table, then you know what you should require back. I feel like nobody should give what they can't receive. That's just a part of knowing your worth.
Did you always know that? How did you learn that?
You learn that by being in a relationship where you realize that you giving 70, you receiving 30. Some people are okay with just receiving the 30 because that might make a whole 100. But then when you realize you poured into an empty cup, it's like, what am I giving to receive back? Because it could be a burnout to just pour when you're getting that back in the cup. At work, you will kind of realize it in the sense of what you making, what you bringing home versus the work that you're doing. So then you'll realize like, hold on. If things not adding up, then I gotta start. But it's not always as easy to subtract yourself because it's literally a level of once you know who you are and know what you know, then it becomes a little easier, but it's still an uncomfortable feeling. So leaving a job that you've been at for 10 to 15 years, you're comfortable there. You know everybody there. You know the rules. You know that your job security is there. So leaving will be a scary sight for most people because you're thinking, well, I don't know what's out there. But if you know yourself, then you know right or what, because you're gonna be paid, whether higher power just based upon your own work ethic. You know wherever you go, you're gonna put your 2 foot forward, and then like that opens up other doors for you to be like, you know what? Well, this ain't working either. And then once you know, you just gonna go. It don't even matter about nothing else. You just go. And then relationship wise, it's a little tricky because you might have a certain aspect of different things that connect y'all together. But I feel like even if y'all establish a friendship or something along the lines of that keeps y'all bonded, you still have to think to yourself like, is this worth me still pouring to a cup that's never going to fill me up? It's tricky. It's just bondage in a sense, but in the same token, you still got to know who you are and want to
I think I kind of felt like that's something that should have came from a parent. How you feel, John? Like, how did you learn your worth?
I feel like, well, it depends on how you raise, but I feel like your first self-worth is like taught from like your mom and your dad. Like your dad, if he in your life, like, you know, like what you deserve or what you should tolerate and what you shouldn't. That's the, like, I feel like that's your first half. And then your second half would be like more so from just experiencing like dating, or maybe you were abused in one relationship, but then you get with the next person and you're not really going through that. So you're like, oh, this is what, like I feel like every relationship kind of teaches you something different, and you gain your self-worth after that. Or like you realize, like, say if you're in a troubled relationship or whatever, or let's just say a domestic relationship, and you start to realize like, this is not what, like, this is not my worth. This is not what I'm worth. So you leave, like you leave. Sorry, my kitten won't come out. You leave if you capable of leaving. Some people are not capable of leaving, or they're not strong enough to leave yet. That's my personal opinion. And I feel like each relationship or each teachable, like whatever's going on in your life, you kind of learn your worth after that. Like your parent can teach you, like even now, like if I had a kid and they around, let's say 13, 14, they start having like, dating little boys or whatever, you're going to teach your child like, this is what you should accept, and this is what you shouldn't accept. But at the end of the day, your kids don't do what they want to do. Until they go through it, they don't know. So you're going to go through all types of trials, tribulations with everything, work, friendships, even friendships, because you get tried on friendships. You got to know your worth with friendships too. People be fake. People be backstabbing you. Yeah, not showing up for birthdays or not reposting your posts. Like, you got to know who's for you and who's supposed to be in your corner at the end of the day. So I feel like you go through your worth with friendships too, not only just relationships. So friendships, relationships, work, family. And a lot of people are definitely scared to cut their family off or like, fall back from their family a little bit. But I feel like your first self-worth comes from, like, in my family anyway. Well, in my experience, it came from my mom. And then after that, like, I learned with each relationship that I was in, I learned like, oh no, this is not for me. Maybe I should take a step back, whatever the case is, date myself for a little bit or move on to the next person, whatever it is. I learned from the last situation, and then I keep going and going and going. That's how you really, really learn your self-worth, until you just have enough and you really know what are you worth. Like, you got to ask yourself sometimes, like, what am I worth? Like, what do I want to do? Or what do I want to accept or not accept? Exactly. And then some people, not only that, like, sometimes you get in a situation and you might be the partner to give 100 though, but then you see this person, like you said, keep giving 20% and you giving 100% because that's who you are. I don't feel like people should change who they are because that person. Never change who you are. Just find somebody that appreciates what you have to offer. That's how I personally feel. Like, if you're not giving me what I'm giving you and it's not reciprocated or can't be reciprocated, then
Why do you think it's so easy for people to say that other people
are is comfortable. Change is scary. So when you thinking about changing, you like, oh my God, I don't want to become that person because I don't even know who they are. But in reality, you accepting things that you should accept. You don't really know who you are at that point. So you're still in an uncomfortable feeling because whether you're giving a little or giving a lot, you're still giving. So it don't really make a difference how much you choose to give. I would look at it like that. You're not the type of person that give, like me, it's hard for me to give halfway. I've realized that about myself. I don't know how to halfway do anything. I either give all or nothing. And I feel like that's an uncomfortableness. But I do feel like it was instilled based on my childhood because I realized the disappointment that I was because I was given and I wasn't getting it back. But so now, when I give, I tend to give over give. Whether that's physically, financially, or spiritually, or mentally, I overgive. And I don't think that'll ever change about me. I just had to change the people I was giving it to.
They don't deserve it.
Think about it. Like, when you grow up in certain ways, like, let's just say as a parent, when you have children, like, I know my way of living as far as my parents, like my mom. My dad, I never really spoke to him. I spoke to him when I was a little older. He was able to, like, pour into me, but it was already too late. I still heard what he said, but it was kind of too late because I was shifting into my own woman. My mom never poured into me like, you're smart, you're ambitious. So if I was to give her an idea, she would say, why would you do that? Or did it because she couldn't see it? You know what I'm saying? So when you get certain
That's what. Yes, yes, absolutely.
I felt like different abandonment things or different disappointments led me to different things. You know what I'm saying? So it has a lot, but it's a lot of things you gotta unlearn from when you're a child too. Like, oh, is that right or is that wrong? Because I seen it don't mean it was right. That don't mean it was wrong either. But that's what I witnessed. And everybody has a perception of based upon what they did when they was younger too.
Keep that in mind. Like everybody was raised differently. Like I'm starting to look at every aspect like that now. Like let me take a few steps back. They probably wasn't raised how I was raised. So of course they don't know how to love if they never received love. I received love. So I know how to love. But if you're somebody that was abandoned or your parents weren't as in your life as they should have been or as supportive or whatever the case is, how do you expect somebody to just pour straight into you either? So I feel like it just honestly depends on the situation, and not only that, you have to take a step back, and this is what it takes to get to know people. Even in your friendship, you should get to know them, their history, what's going on, how is your relationship with your mom and dad? Like, how are these relationships? That way you know how y'all relationship will be, and that way you know if you not you wasting your time or not. If you tell me, oh yeah, F my mom, F my dad, I ain't got no relationship with them, I already know we can't make it anywhere. I love my mom, I love my dad, I got a relationship with both of them. Okay, we know this is not getting anywhere, because if you don't love your mom or dad, you definitely can't love me. So I already know my worth is a little beyond that, and I'm not, what needs to happen, receive. Absolutely. But I feel like we also put a lot on our parents because, well, how we were raised, because I feel like, not saying when you get to a certain age, but when you get to a certain point in your life and you're growing, I feel like you should kind of not unlearn and outgrow some of the things that you went through or was taught as a kid or a teenager or whatever the case. Let's say, for example, me and Maisha really always joke about this. Our pride, we be like, oh no, we ain't calling this person. But my mom taught me that, like, don't call them. But really, what if you wrong? You really do need to call that person and step up and be like, listen, I have to unlearn that. Like, my mom,
What you mean?
like, you used to be like, oh, F that person, like, don't call them first. Let them call you. And that
I
be
taught y'all that.
absolutely. And me and Maisha always get on the phone. We be like, wait, why we didn't call?
Did they do something wrong to you, or did you?
It did not matter. It didn't matter. You just like, don't call nobody first. Like, that was the lesson. Like, don't call nobody first. And no shade. I'm sorry to expose you, but I'm laughing because me and Maisha really joke about this all the time. She be like, I don't want to call this person. I'll be like, well, why don't you call? She be like, that damn Demetri. We be like, she done taught us not to call F that person. You know what? F them. I don't give a. You probably don't remember because
No, I think
you were more so protecting us at that age. Like, as teenagers, it was a level of protect. That's what I take it as.
Or was it that I seen something in that person?
I think it was protection, pride and protection.
Okay.
But you taught us that, but now at 30 and 34, it's like, no, I do need to call this person and get it off my chest. Like, I do need to do a little 1-2 real quick. Exactly. You probably don't remember that. We was kids.
But what I was still say on that, I probably actually too, yes, was trying to protect y'all. I could kind of, I'm not denying it, I could kind of really see me doing that. But I also probably felt as though, not so much that they didn't deserve, because it depends on if I know, did y'all actually explain to me the story what took place and why did I feel that way? Or was it just that, was it a whole female thing? Just because I always got that thing with females. Like, you know how, like, you get what I'm saying?
Always been about that. Me and Maisha always been about that. We be like, yo, who taught us this?
Say something. Like, did you say something?
Well, I am a person of accountability. Got a little dampen on things for you guys. I apologize.
No, not necessarily. It's just some things that you gotta unlearn because you realize that may work for you, but it may not work for us.
Because
That's
I won't even say that I do it now, but I probably did.
Yeah, that's.
Go back
I mean, that's probably who you was then. It's not who you are now.
Now, right.
We outgrow was taught to us. Yeah.
I can hear you saying that too.
I'm gonna text my baby.
Look, it ain't back in the day no more.
Where you at? What you doing? What you doing? Who you doing? What you
What
doing?
I saw
Who
a
you doing?
joke about that.
Answer the phone, baby.
What that old lady say? She said, I'm tired of chasing you around. I know you see me calling.
Oh my God. No, that's a cool time. Oh my God.
Knowing your worth could be a few different things. It's a growing process. It's a growing process. You can always be getting older, but not necessarily growing because everything is a day by day step. But once you realize like who you are, what you want, what you don't want,
I think I realize now too, because it's like, damn, God, how many things you want me to go through before I know my worth? But I think my problem was always that I always made everything about me. And sometimes I went through it and it was not about me. But I'm realizing that now, like, even with, because I never talked about the Super Podcast, maybe I did, by an author. And I wrote a book about dating a narcissist. Shout out to Naisha for giving me the idea. But I didn't even get, when I went through the shit I went through with my narcissist, I didn't even get a chance to really feel it. I was so frustrated because I had to help somebody else. The whole time I'm saying, this is me. I'm going through this. I'm tired of this me. But the whole time I went through it because I'm really actually helping other people get over their situation with a narcissist. So with me, I thought like, God, like, why you taking this? Because for me, there is no attachment for me. All it did for me was produce some money for me.
a lot of things that we do in life don't have nothing to do with us.
Yeah, a
Has
lot.
nothing to do with us.
Even down to a surgery. You might say, Lord, I'm scared of this surgery. Even somebody with breast cancer. But how can they help somebody else that got breast cancer if they didn't go through it themselves? So I think that like knowing your worth process is like, I think you got to learn it from going through different toxic and horrible relationships, whether it's physical, mental, abusive relationship, in order to
What you grow through, not what you go through.
yes, and it's
Going through the same.
it's an identity situation too. It gets to the point where I guess you think at the age that you are now, or as you get older, 30 and up, 20 and up, that you actually know who you are. I think sometimes we don't know who we are yet. We just think we do because of our age. Oh, I'll be 50. Yeah. Right. Yeah, you start to, and I think a lot of people not only not know themselves and still learn themselves. I'm still learning myself. I'm learning this. Yeah. And the worth got to do with self-love. Your worth got to do with self-love.
Yeah, then you gotta face it again. Then you face it again. Yup. So spinning around the block really don't make a difference because you might just stop right there. Stop right there because no matter how much you try to change the next time, it's gonna end up being the same aspect because you see it playing itself through. You saying, okay, this gonna happen. Oh, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. Then when it happens, you just like, okay, because you're ready for it anyway. But you keep going back. You compromise yourself for that. You know what I mean?
trial to be where you want to be. Now, relationship wise, that's a little tricky. If you're in a situation where you feel like I'm compromised, I keep putting my feelings on the back burner, I keep putting what I want on the back burner, my pride on the back burner, or different things like that. You want to put that on the back burner for the person just because you want the person to do. It's never going to be a settling feeling. You're never going to have peace. You know what I'm saying? Because so many things just so I feel like you're never going to have peace in that. But some people are okay with not living.
We both said,
I know.
let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Whoever listening, shout out to who. Yes, and that's true. Shout out to whoever listens to me and my everybody who comes on and support me with this podcast. I am hoping to really help people because let me say this to you: learn what peace is, and learn as soon as possible. Learn self-love. Learn self-worth. And I only can say this now because these times have been the best times of my absolute life. And it's the best peace because it's God-given peace. So when God is like moving those people out your way, let him move them. Let them move them. Let them leave. I don't care who it is. You can still speak. You can still say hello. You can still be cordial. I don't care who it is. But I'm telling you right now, that peace of mind is nothing like it. Go get you some.
Very quiet this podcast, y'all. It's very quiet. You sound like a machine. Come on, Dre, speak up.
Like, who'd you learn
pride
your
is
worth
to the
from?
side.
Like, who you think, what's something that y'all learned the hard way that you wish your parent would have told you? That's a whole nother podcast.
They can hear it, but actually go out in the world and realize, like I can tell Jace all day long, you're smart, you're funny, you know what I'm saying, you're handsome, you're da-da-da-da. He hears me, but he actually experiences those things that trickle down to, my mom said I can do all things. It's just weird. Yes, I can still let him so he can hear me later on down the life. Until he actually goes through a life experience that school will not teach him.
But I feel like with my mom, like even with my mom, I feel like my mom never taught me the importance of my virginity. The reason why I'm saying this is maybe if she taught me, then I could have taught somebody else. And the reason why, because I didn't.
Now, wait a minute. You went the hell off on us about virginity and babies. And remember we got Gerber Mel? Remember Gerber Mel came? No. Do you remember when Gerber Mel? Who is pregnant? She busting the door. Who is pregnant? Which one of y'all is pregnant?
But when somebody get pregnant, didn't I figure out that somebody got pregnant?
No, you went off.
Don't lose your virginity, but it was never specific as to don't. Because it can create this lifetime of this, or open these doors.
Yeah, I would say don't open a can of worms. Don't open that can of worms.
You want me to say what you really used to say?
Don't open that pocketbook
Without opening the other pocketbook.
Well, that was once y'all was already fucking. Now y'all was fucking.
Don't
by
open
then.
one pocketbook without opening the other pocketbook.
They was already having sex, y'all.
Church.
So
I used to be like, let me open this
sorry.
purse. Hold on, let me open my wallet.
you know what? That came from another old head mom, but I ain't going to rest in peace to her. But I ain't going to say her name. My pain. I'm sorry. Sharon Payne, rest in peace. She ain't play. She let you know. And she'll call you out your name. Shout out to her. Love her like a mom. Oh my God. So yeah, you want to say something else? You real quiet over here too.
Everybody quiet tonight. They scared.
This was
they
a good
scared of the
podcast.
worth. They scared of the worth topic.
They scared of the word.
We should have did something a little fun. Maybe we should have made Risha Roulette on here or something.
Oh my God. Come on. Come here, Jace.
All right, what was
Close
your
us out.
question? Your
Let
question? No, you did ask the question. What did you feel like your parents?
Jace didn't tell you that you wish they would have told you.
Okay, so mine is. I think mine would be the importance of virginity. I feel like you told us not to have sex, but you didn't specify why we shouldn't. So I would say that was mine.
For me, I guess I was raised by a lion. So she let me do whatever I wanted to do, basically. You know, when it came down to something, we'd have a conversation about it. But my big sister basically was the one to be like, yo, you better not be putting nothing between your days with a washcloth. But at this point, yeah, it was like I was already trying to test the waters. So it was me learning everything with this individual. And luckily I ran into someone who was, gentle enough to make sure that I was good. So I guess not having a strong person to say, okay, you should do this, don't do that, and tell me why. Tell me why, because at this point growing up, I felt like that's something I needed. Yeah.
Favorite line. Aisha. A hard head makes a soft ass.
But until you actually tell me,
Now, this was the thing. I guess we was talking the other day or last week, something like that, and somebody had said something to me. They said, but even if you told them, they still will go out here and do it. As a parent, and I want you to keep this in mind with Jace, keep this in mind with Aubrey. As a parent, the biggest thing I got off of it is, I know y'all not always going to listen. Because if I'm not, that's the whole point of me raising y'all is to learn from my mistakes, to teach y'all the mistakes that I made. Some parents don't even tell. Like my mom never told me, but my mom never told me because her mom never told her, and her mom never told her. But I broke it. I told y'all. Right. So I told it, but even though I didn't explain to you guys, I taught y'all what I knew. I taught y'all I gave my virginity up and it wasn't worth it. I taught y'all because it wasn't so much about not giving your virginity up because I didn't know you should have had sex without you shouldn't have sex without marriage. I learned that later. Nobody taught me that. I learned that later, but I could teach y'all that. You get what I'm saying? But it was the pregnancy part for me. I got pregnant in high school. I got pregnant. Exactly, but I feel like if I tell y'all and y'all still do it, I did not fail y'all. So I did everything that was on the list that my mom did not do that I felt that would hurt me. My mom was a good mom though. She spent time. My mom is a good mom. So but she lacked that part. I think her generation lacked that part. Her generation lacked that part. Yeah, and the generation before her, to me, like for me, I feel like I was that person that actually went out here and tell my family I love them. I think I'm the heart of every side of my family actually saying I love you and giving a hug and a kiss. The chambers up because whenever I leave, that's what I would say because I was taught love from my mom. So for me, these days, love is so important. When you look into other people's households and stuff like that, love, being loved, knowing how to love and know how to embrace love. And I knew how to do it all for the most part, But it's just like sometimes people love the only way they knew how. I thought it was the best way they knew, but it wasn't the love that I was taught, and I should have wanted more. Yes. So I feel like of course your child not gonna do. We gonna test the waters. I could say don't smoke weed, don't do cocaine, don't do this, and you still gonna go out here and do it. But I told you, and I can check that off my list.
The older generation, like they'll say, you don't gotta explain nothing to her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like don't do, but don't explain why not to do. If you go in front of a classroom and they say 2 + 2 is 4, but they don't show you how to add the lines up to make 4, it don't make sense. Don't.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you have to explain.
Because with my mom, my mom would always say if any of y'all had kids or even me and stuff like that. And I learned that my mom would say, y'all ain't learned from us. What did I learn from you? You didn't make it look hard. I got anything I wanted. But you didn't tell a story. You didn't tell me you were struggling with 2 kids and my dad didn't help you. I didn't feel that. I didn't feel the void.
Your dad around, so you felt like he was doing something. You didn't know.
Because right now, too, y'all would feel the same way. Stop. start another one, I would probably put the phone over there because I don't think you can see half of it. And I'll just add this part out. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of times my mom and them generation really just they didn't know because nobody actually taught them. Yes.
You not necessarily get into detail, but you can explain them the do's and the don'ts and why it does not happen all that. You know, it doesn't happen that way in certain aspects because if I can save you from something, I'm gonna try to save you from something.
Yeah, and I think that was my thing, like not letting y'all go to other people's houses. Y'all wasn't allowed to have all the company.
I actually appreciate that.
All the
I
company,
do.
all the
I
company.
do.
I actually had a safe house, and all the company had to come to me. And whether the guys got high or whatever they did, they made sure they smoked before they came into my home, and they respect me, and I was well respected. A lot of them still to this day call me mom, and I love y'all. You know
That's
what I mean?
one
But
thing that you did not play that.
I
We
did
was
not.
not allowed to nobody's house. You got to talk to the mom, dad. And back then, we was as kids, we used to look at it like, girl, you was irritating, or our friends was outside, even down the projects. When them lights came on, we knew it was time to go in the house, but everybody else would be outside playing. Then I would look at you like you crazy, like, come on, mom, you being strict. Da, da, da. But now I be like, oh, I see why she did X, Y, and Z. Like why she said set those certain boundaries made me feel like, okay, now I get it. It all makes sense once you get older, even with your worth. It all start to rewind in your head, like, okay, now I've been through this before, or I'm piecing it together where it originally came from.
yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. That's definitely true. But I just no, I can edit stuff. So it's good. But yeah, that was good, Ayana. I did, but I was strict in that manner because my mom let me go out and do whatever I want to do. She was, long as I was going, like I would stay the night with my girlfriend Nene, and we would stay the night. I basically, people thought I lived in the Bennett. They thought I was from the Bennett because I stayed with Grandma Payne all the time. But you know, my mom knew her, and she felt like, oh, you know, they say, but I felt like I learned some of my, I'm cracking up. It's all right. I learned some of my worst things being outside. So I think that's where the protecting part came from for y'all. You know, it was like, don't go out there. It's a jungle out there.
Well, we do appreciate
That's nice.
certain stuff.
Yeah.
This
This,
Like no.
I was the opposite. I stayed in the house for all my teenage years.
Is that why you wilding out now?
Yeah.
Is that why you wilding out?
I'm outside, baby. Yeah. For me, I had to learn everything on my own. Yeah. So it wasn't like by the time I got outside, everybody else was already outside. So it was just like me catching up like, oh, I'm loving this. Like, okay. I just, I sprinted, Yeah. So I ain't get outside. I'm like 20. I was loving it. Like, y'all went to parties and stuff. I never been to a teenage party.
When we was outside, I used to
Yeah,
I used to have my Isha ID.
well, see, I dropped them off though. It'd be like five of them in my car. I dropped them off,
In the trunk and all.
and then they'll call me back, and I'll pick them up. So they had door-to-door service. Now, me, I was outside. I partied, but I didn't do the Fairmount Park, the Philly. I did the South Street and all that. I did the Platte and all that late. I didn't do it when everybody else was doing it because I think I had a baby. I had kids early, so I wasn't really doing all that. You know what I mean? But I did it. I went outside though. We went outside. Yes, that I don't miss that part. That's why I can't stand going out now.
Well, I have a word for the people that's listening. The word is learn your self-worth, whether you was taught it or not. Gain it, learn it, even if you have to like date yourself for a while, because I feel like you can't date somebody and learn your self-worth at the same time. It's too much. So learn your self-worth, figure out what's for you, what's not for you. Even if you got to make a list stand on it. Just live life. First of all, life is short. Live life. Don't let nobody tie you down if they treat you like shit or acting like shit. My sister said, if things don't add up, subtract yourself. Period. That's on Foe and them. Whoever that is. Whoever the hell that is. I got that from dirt. That's on Foe and them. But no, for real, self-worth is everything. Self-love is everything. Traveling is everything. Get out here, live life, have fun, and stop crying all the time. Everybody crying all the time.
You gotta cleanse it sometimes.
Sometimes, not all the time. Live life.
I just feel like
Tomorrow isn't promised.
As far as your worth, if you don't know it now, and some of us still learning it, just learn it and help others that don't know it. And like she said, date yourself, self-love. Because I'm still learning too, and that's why I wanted to talk about this, because a lot of people are embarrassed about things. I'm not embarrassed about anything. But yeah, learn your self-worth. Work on you. Try your best to just, if anything make you feel uncomfortable, like get out of it. But definitely work on journaling. Like write it down. What you gonna do for yourself? Brother Chanel is done, your feet done. Just pamper yourself. Go out to dinner by yourself. Whatever it is, learn your worth, because it's really an important thing. Your worth is like credit. How credit is out here in real life. You need your worth, because nobody is going to respect your boundaries and your worth if you don't respect it yourself, or if you don't know it. You know what I mean?
I was going to piggyback on that. Just you set your boundaries and you are in the process of gaining who you are. Don't let no one try to deteriorate you from your vision, your journey, and where you're planning on going, because they can't see what God has for you. Only you can see. So you're gonna have those that's gonna try to tell you, no, I liked you better when you was like this. But nah, this is who I need to be right now, because that person I was before, that person it wasn't working out. Yeah, I need something. I need to implement something else. And when you get like that, you lose a lot of people fall off. Or she's different. No, this is who I am. This is who I should have been. This is who I should have been. But no, I choose to again dummy down who I was to please you. Yeah, but that life got to change. You're gonna try to find out who you are. You have to change that. So I just say, don't let nobody else take you off the square. Stay in the square.
It's not when. Don't put time on when you know your worth. Just learn your worth. It's that you do. It's that you do learn it.
Drea is acting so shy.
Let Jace come close me out, grandson.
Jay.
Thanks for tuning in. Say thanks for tuning in to Hot Toddies with me, Nani. What is it? Sing it, baby. Sing it, baby. Sing it. Sing it, baby. Oh, you gonna hear it when I. Oh.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.